So this is a Bessacarr Cameo 580. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you have your 2 gas bottle tie downs and your gas regulator on the bulkhead. On the side of the regulator you have a yellow gas isolator valve to isolate the gas supply should you ever need to. You can carry a maximum of 2 6kg propane gas bottles at any point on board the caravan. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your all-day heating and hot water flow. You need to leave this uncovered at all times. You'd never cover it up, because if you do, you could potentially stop the heating system from essentially breathing. And if it got hot, it could potentially be a fire hazard if you covered this up while it was not in use. You've then got a dog shower connection on the side of the van. These are available to buy from Colin in our shop or online. We then have our water pump connection, so you actually have 2 water pump connections on this van. So the top connection here is for when you're running the onboard water system. So to fill the onboard water system you need to have this pump connected to the top connection, and if you're filling directly to the hot water tank you need to have it connected to the bottom. Whichever way you do this, you do need to make sure the pump is fully submerged in water prior to turning the water pump on. So if you turn the pump on and there's no water there, it can potentially cause an airlock in the water system itself. Then got your battery box and your mains power lead. We've put a battery on to demonstrate everything is working as it should. The battery will be removed after the handover, but if you do need a new one fitting, we can do this at £75. Then got your 2 fridge vents. 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Behind the cover on the top right hand side you've got a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. Down below you've got the wheel nuts and motor mover. The motor mover will demonstrate here on site in person, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Next up you've got your 2 grey waste pipes coming down the side of the van here. So them 2 flaps you'll drop down, and the fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan, once it's been through the sinks and the shower, will need somewhere to come out, so it'll come back out these bits of pipe and you'll just drop them down inside your waste master. Coming to the back of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank at the top here. So you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use, and that will allow the toilet system to be flushed. In the bottom you've got your toilet waste cassette hole where the cassette normally goes. The cassette's currently around here. So the orange neck here will turn out 90 degrees to allow you to tip the waste away. The orange handle you'll pull up to allow the cassette to be released so you can pull it out the side of the van. Then on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so that's this one down here. And you'll press that button in as you're tipping the waste away so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You'll need to put 1 litre of water in this cassette and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. I can't remember what it did say, but it's 3.5 litres of water in the top cassette and a cap full of the pink fluid. Back of the van you've got your 2 wind down legs again, as you expect to see. You've then got your storage lockers for each side of the down the sides of the van. Wheel and motor mover again. And then you've got your 3-pin socket to allow power out to your awning. Storage for underneath your front seating area, and then you've got your barbecue gas point on the front left hand side here and the last of the wind down legs. Going on to the inside now, above the door as you come into the caravan you've got your main master control panel, so you've got power on the bottom right hand side here. You've got, when it says dimming level at the bottom, you've got your option to adjust your lights for above the front cabinets brightness wise. 100% is obviously the brightest the lights will be. On the left hand side here you've got your awning light for the outside of the caravan. You've got your dimming lights on and off, and then you've got the rest of your roof lights and front lights for the caravan on the switch just here on the left hand side. Then you've got your water pump run, which I'm going to come back to in a moment. You'll also see the voltmeter here in the middle of the screen, which tells you how many volts are going into the battery on board the van. Once you have the power turned on above the door, the first thing I'd recommend you do is open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. So once you're ready to fill the water system up, as you can see, hot taps are open. You'll then come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van, and underneath this, underneath the front cabinet of the caravan, underneath here, you're going to find a white valve. The white valve is to direct the water flow either to the onboard water tank or to the storage tank at the front here, so hot water tank or front storage tank. When the valve is pointing to the right, it will allow the water to go directly to the onboard water tank, to the hot water tank. If you want to fill the big storage tank at the front here, you'd need to put this valve in the down position and have your pump connected in the correct position on the outside of the van. With the two yellow valves flat with the floor, it means you'll be able to fill the water system up. If them yellow valves are upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will drain all of the water out of the system onto the floor underneath the van. So with the valves flat and the white valve pointing to the right hand side, because we're going to fill it up to the hot water tank rather than the storage tank, and all your taps open, you can come back to your switch above the door and turn on your water pump. Now it's going to cut water level low to start with, as there's no water in the onboard water storage tank. That will stop bleeping in a moment. However, once the water system is full and you have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, you can shut all of the taps back off. Like I said, that bleeping noise will stop in a moment once it sees that there is pressure or water in the onboard tank, the hot water tank. Next up, we're going to come over to our Aldi heating and hot water control panel. Once the water system's full, we're going to press the power button on the bottom left hand side here. You've then got your heating pump symbol here, which lets you know the heating and hot water system is working, or the heating system is pumping the fluid around the van for the heating. You've then got your mains power supply coming into the caravan. Then below that, you've got your your current room temperature. We're going to hit the menu button, and it will take us into the options for the van. So you've got plus or minus here for your heating. I'm going to turn that all the way down, so it allows me to turn on the hot water. At 5 degrees. Then below that you have the hot water temperature. You've got plus and minus for your heating. Below that, your water temperature. If this bar is completely empty, it means the hot water is off. If the bar is halfway up, it means the hot water is on. And if it's all the way up, it means it's hot water boost for when you're showering on board the caravan. So I'm going to leave it on boost, so when you arrive on site, the water has warmed up. Below that, you have the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So you've either got 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts as a power source option. It will depend on what caravan site you're on to what you select this to. Obviously, if you're on a site with 3 kilowatts available, then I would advise you use the 3 kilowatts to power the van, as that will be the heating and hot water's most efficient settings. You've then got the option to run gas. So if you want to run gas, you can hit the flame symbol on the bottom left hand side. The gas system will self-ignite. If it fails to ignite, it will actually come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen here, indicating the gas system has failed. If it does do that, I'd advise you just get the gas through on the hob and then reignite the gas heating systems or water systems and go from there. You've then got your advanced options on this bottom right hand side on this cog symbol. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, as if I tried to explain these in the video, it'd probably take me around 2 to 3 hours to complete. Next up is the fridge. So very simple to use. Power on the left hand side here. You've got the option to run gas. If the fridge ignites on gas, this blue symbol here will stay solid blue. If it fails to ignite, it will start flashing the blue symbol here. It'll also start flashing the red warning triangle on the right hand side. If you want to try and restart the igniter for the gas operation of the fridge, you can press in the warning triangle on the right hand side and the igniter will restart. On gas or mains, you can control the temperature of the fridge on this button on the right hand side. To go to 240 volt mains, you hit the plug symbol when you connect to mains power, and that will allow the fridge to run the 240. And like I said, again, you control the temperature on this button on the right hand side. If you're towing down the road and you want to use the fridge as a cool box, you'll need to connect to the car first. And if you have the correct power or correct connections on the back of your car, it will allow you to charge the battery on board the van and use the fridge as a cool box. But like some people don't realise that it is only from the 12 volt supply on board the car, from the car, that you will be able to operate the fridge. It does not work from the 12 volt supply on board the caravan. So we'll hit the button, and as we're not connected to a car at the moment, it's flashing the symbol here to warn us it hasn't got any power, and then the same with the red warning triangle on the right hand side. Microwave, hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances. The 240 volt power supply on site will power the microwave. If you have no 240 volt, then the microwave will not operate. The same as the electric ring on top of the hob. The rest of the hob, grill and oven will all work off the gas on board the caravan. Coming through into the bathroom now. I'm not actually going to be able to flush the toilet system, it's been cleaned at the moment. You have a blue button on top here that you'll press to let the toilet system flush. You have a red indicator light that illuminates when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, you need to make sure this toilet seat is back in the central position. Also, when you are removing the toilet waste cassette from the side of the van, you need to make sure this grey handle's in the central position. But when you're using the toilet, you will need to push it across to the right hand side, which allows the toilet waste into the cassette. The towel rail in the bathroom, if you do have little ones in the van, please be aware that that does hold heat for a fairly long while, so just bear that in mind. And then coming underneath the front, underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan, one last thing to show you. You have got your your master control box of the caravan. You've got a system shutdown which isolates all of the power 12 volt and 240 volt wires. You have your 12 volt fuses underneath the cover on the left hand side here. You then have your charger with the green light here. I do apologise, it's not cleared up. The charger and your heating and hot water systems. You need to have both of these on for the charger and the heating systems to work. And then underneath this cover on the bottom here, you have your 240 trip switches for the caravan. And if you want to test to see if you have mains power coming to the caravan, hit the test switch. And if that switch drops down just there, it means there is mains power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you are on. So, this is the Bessacarr Cameo 580. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.